People today often confuse minimalism as the thought of having less things, having less stuff around the house, having less stuff within your life. But that is not really the case. The whole fact behind minimalism is in order to decrease the amount of things that you have in your life and to increase the amount of things that you find to give you joy, the things that you actually cherish and love. And that's what comes to relationships, how you deal with people and within yourself. Now, when we're talking about this, we're not just talking about the physical things that you have, but the things that you have in your life, period. And let's keep it real. Digital life will be more important than actual reality, if it's not already there anyway. But with that being said, what is the difference between your digital life and your actual reality? So when we're talking about digital minimalism, we're talking about significantly decreasing the amount of things and space that you are taking up in the digital world. So in this video, I'm going to give you the top 5 tips on how you can start becoming a digital minimalist today and free up your world by decreasing your space online. What is up, soul fans? Chris with Soldier of Life, and today in this video I'm going to show you guys how you can start decreasing the amount of things and space that you are taking up in the digital realm. Now, just to jump right into things, the first thing we're going to talk about is organization. You need to organize your folders and your files within your devices. Now, we're talking about computers, tablets, smartphones, whatever you got going on. You need to organize these things so then it's easier for you to simplify and be able to find what you're actually looking for. Now, a lot of stress and frustration comes when you're trying to find a folder, or maybe you want to show somebody a meme that you've seen and you actually saved on your phone, but you can't seem to find it. So you go through scrolling and then you get a little bit frustrated because you couldn't find what you were looking for. Now, a couple of tips that I have within that: when you create the folders or when you start putting things in the folders, you want to create naming conventions for them. So case in point, if you, let's say that you have a picture of you when you were a kid playing basketball, how would you organize this folder in which you would be able to find it easily for yourself? Now, this tip comes from when I was a DJ. One of the most specific things, one of the detrimental things as a DJ that you have to do is organize your music so it's good for you, easy for you to find it. Let's say that you have a song that was made in the 90s that is of rock genre. Where would you put it in? Are you going to file it by the year? Are you going to file it by the genre in which the music is in? Are you going to file it by the artist? These are the important parts. So I can't really tell you exactly how to do it. I know personally how I would do it. So let's say if we're going back, how would I place a file that has a picture of me playing basketball when I was a child? I'd probably have a folder that is named pictures. This would be the biggest umbrella of naming conventions. This would be the biggest folder that I would have. Within this folder of pictures, I would probably have different levels of my childhood. So I would go from, maybe 0 to 10, 10 to 15, the important parts in which I think my childhood and my adulthood that I would want to subcategorize. Then once I go to that age limit, probably just subjugate them from the different things that I was doing at the time. I'd have a folder named basketball, soccer, baseball, riding a bike, at home. I would subjugate like that file would be on my picture. And it gets, depending on how many files that you have, it gets pretty complicated. But I personally would take about a day to do this. And the thing about it is, once you do that, you will be able to find all your files very easily. Also, within the naming conventions, you want to put tags on your files. Now, the reason you want to do this is because, let's say that you want to hurry up and search for something very fast. All you have to do is go into the search bar, type in the text that you think will be in the tag or whatever you're looking for, and if your files are tagged properly, then they will automatically pop up to the screen, and then you'll be able to find them much easier than actually trying to search through them and go through the different folders manually. Now, there's a couple apps that you could probably use to do this. I know when I used to do music, I did like MP3 Cloud or whatever the name of it was, and it was very easy. MP3 Tag, I think it was, but it was a very simple system for me to use. I got to tag, not only do the titles of all my music, but I got to tag the genre, the artist, and it was very easy to find the music that I wanted at a very fast rate. Number 2 is emails. You need to clean out your email box. It is disgusting. I'm pretty sure 7 out of 10 people that watch this video have email boxes that are gross and disgusting. I know I personally had one. I was up to about 10,000 emails about a month ago. Well, you know, before I did this video, but it was gross. It was gross. So the thing about the emails, you need to get rid of them. You need to get rid of the crap that's in there. A reason that a lot of people don't check their emails now is because there's so much junk in it. Now, the way that you are able to get rid of this junk, you need to go through your files and delete your emails in bulk. Now, some of the ways that you can do this, there's some naming conventions that you can use. Let's say that you have a lot of emails that are coming from a specific site. I'm just gonna say Agoda for this purpose. So agoda.com, I use it for a lot of my booking when I'm traveling, but I use it a lot. So they send me a whole lot of ad stuff. So unless I start stopping notifications, what we'll talk about in a little bit, I can go through all the Agoda emails that I've gotten by typing in the naming convention within the search. You know, I can also break that down into anything that was over a year, within 6 months, all of that, and I can find exactly the year and the terms that I'm looking for, and then mass delete this emails. And the reason you want to do this, today's people's fight for your attention, it puts a lot of mental strain on your focus. So what you want to do is get rid of all the extra emails that you have. You also want to make a subcategory, or you want to add a folder within your email files. Basically what that is, I purposely use Gmail. I'm not exactly sure which one you're using, but whichever one that you have, pretty sure on the left hand side on the control panel, you will be able to create your own sub files. And what I do is every time I get an email that I find to be important or fits one of these categories, I will automatically throw it in there. Now the thing about it is also, we're also going to talk about searching and filtering. Now there's options that you have, and I'm just going to use the Gmail platform for these purposes, but you can go through and you can actually forward every single piece of mail that you get. If it has a tag and title, if you were subscribed to a certain website or a subscription or something else, then you can have these mails automatically forwarded to your folders, so then you never see it on the inbox, but it goes straight to the direct folder in which you want to put it in. So the search and filter category is a definite must if you want to start automating the processes in which you want to have your emails forwarded and then tagged, and then you don't have to do anything extra after that. Number 3 is your social media. Let me get a drink on this. Your social media is probably, you probably have 1,035 pictures, all your status pictures that you have. When you pop some stupid picture on Instagram, you have to understand that your digital life is almost the image that the world has on you. And I'm not trying to say it's that important, but it kinda is. But your digital profile, the digital frame that you were showing everybody, basically showing your digital life. So if you have random pictures popping up at the top of your feed, or if you have a bunch of junk, if you go through your photos and your albums and maybe statuses that you had up from years ago, this is how people actually start getting these things, you know, that they can throw back in your face. You had statuses years ago of who you were, or you were a different person, or maybe you had said something that you don't want people to find out anymore. You know, yes, the internet, everything you put on the internet is supposed to be assumed permanent, but what you can do, the features that they have is on Facebook, and I believe Instagram also, you can download your entire Facebook. Every post that you posted, every picture, the thumbnail, everything. You can download the entire profile with the click of a button. If you download this information, you can start getting rid of the things that you don't want. When I started creating a business-like profile to the people that I get in communication with, but I'm a big fan of keeping all of my stuff, keeping all my pictures, all my statuses. I like to remember who I was back then and see who I change into the future. So I downloaded my entire Facebook profile. And the thing about it is, it gave me every picture, every post, so I can remember these moments forever, and I never have to forget them. Then I put them on a hard drive somewhere. But now I had the freedom, and I felt the liberty that I can actually start deleting a lot of the posts. Half of the pictures that I had on there that didn't look professional, that I didn't want to put out to the rest of the world. So you have these options in order to re-image yourself. You know, turn a new leaf. Stop feeling that you are only subject to what you were, and start focusing on the person that you want to be or that you are now. Getting rid of all that old stuff and then clearing it for the new. All right, number 4 is online storage. You want to get a good online storage. The best thing about online storage also, there's so many different companies that are giving it to you for free. Why not take it? You know, I personally would also use a physical hard drive. I personally right now don't have the need to have more than one. I have 1 terabyte, well 2 terabytes, but until I find the need to buy more physical drives, I continue to just use that for my personal stuff, but I have everything else backed up into an online drive. And if you don't know, I don't know how many people don't know this, computer networking, the cloud is just an online drive, people. Like, it's not a fucking cloud. Like, I'm outside, it's not a real cloud, fam. It's like an online drive where you can store your stuff. But anyway, consider an online drive. There's Dropbox, there's Google Drive, there's, you know, the iCloud, all these different services. Make sure that you're using them. Also, keep the naming conventions on there so you can find the information well, but also, you know, use the free services that are available to you. But just make sure you're keeping them nice and tidy so then you can find the information that you're looking for. Don't keep a lot of extra junk. Don't keep a lot of downloadable files that are easy to find. There's no point of downloading WinZip when you can download it at any time in your life unless you never will have internet connection again. Like, just keep the files that pertain to you, that are important to you, and then leave everything else. But make sure you're using the free services of the online storage. And number 5 is one that I created up. It's called the 1-page rule, or the no more rule. Okay, and basically what this is, we're talking about every single device that you have. We're talking about phones, we're talking about every application, we're talking every single page that you have that's currently yours. If it doesn't fit on one page and you need to click on the more button or extend or continue button, then you probably don't need it. Now, my point, when we're talking about subscriptions on YouTube, right? I'm a YouTuber. So if you have, I think I have like 20 subscriptions, which is a little much, but I like to co-plan and get ideas and stuff like that. So it's a little different on my end. But if you have more than like 40 subscriptions to people on YouTube and you're not using the services, if you're not listening to the videos, if you don't get value from them in whatever time period, if they're not doing much for you, then get rid of them. It's the same thing you're talking about notifications or your email list. Anything that is not on one page on your phone. If you have to swipe through just to see your apps, you know, if your apps don't fit on one page, if it doesn't fit on one screen, you have to scroll to the other screen. You probably have too many apps, man. You need to organize it. Organize your stuff. Just keep everything on one page. And that's another thing that I had to figure out also when I was in business, when I used to create a resume. I used to create this super long resume. I was so proud of all my accomplishments. I throw all this great stuff on there. It'd be like 4 or 5 pages, right? But imagine a recruiter or a hiring manager has to read 100 different job applications. They don't want to sit there and look through all 4 or 5 of your pages. They're not gonna do it. And that's the thing. We find that having a lot of options sometimes is better, but it's not. You just get confused, like you go off the plane, you go off course, and you want things to be simple. That is how the business plan model is today. Keep it simple, stupid, right? Kiss them, feel me? Keep it simple, stupid. So I'm talking one page. You have one page. If I go to YouTube, yeah, I get a little browse happy, looking at different things. I love it, you know what I'm saying? I love the platform. If I go on Facebook and I start, you know, scrolling all this different stuff and look at whatever, you know, if it's not on my first page, if it's not on the front page, I don't really look at it. Basically, it's just keeping things as simple as possible. Keep it simple, stupid. So that is my video today on digital minimalism. So understand that minimalism is not just physical things in your house. It's a way of life, really. You know, I personally, when I start going on the journey, I just want to keep things more simple. I get frustrated a lot when I have a lot of things going on. I love doing like a million different projects at one time. But when you focus on one thing and do it well, you focus on the few things that you have in front of you. You don't keep a lot of things cluttered in your life. You feel more free. You have the ability to concentrate and focus on what you're doing well. Focus on the things that are important to you and don't just leave that to physical space. My life has changed drastically since using these tips, clearing out the space on my digital platforms and actually putting out a profile that I was proud to show people. You know, every single picture. Don't keep pictures that are fuzzy that you're like, no, get rid of it. You know what I mean? If that thing doesn't bring you joy, if you don't love it, if you just like it, get rid of it. It's gone. You know what I'm saying? So this is my video for today. I thank you for watching the video. I want to welcome you to Soldier of Life. If you're new here, subscribe and hit that like button. If not, thank you for coming back, and I will see you in the next video. Keep it simple, stupid, right? Kiss them. Kiss them. Feel me? Kiss. So that is my video today on digital minimalism. Alright, so that is my video today on digital minimalism. Alright, so